What's up, Internet? Brandon here.
With Jimmy.
Welcome back to Nerd Alert. We've got Marvel news.
Marvel news.
I'm so stoked on a lot of this.
So my only trepidation is this is the fourth incarnation of the Fantastic Four in film.
And guess what? Fourth time looks to be the charm.
Fourth time's the charm.
Fourth time's the charm.
Walk to first base.
They were staying very on brand. They could have done it.
Anywho, who do we have with what?
It was announced on Valentine's Day through Marvel's Instagram account,
which that was cool.
I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
Now, I saw the font for the movie first, which had me stoked. Yeah. And then I saw that, I missed the first post of the cast, which then had me more stoked. Because I saw it and I was like, holy crap, they're going to go with this, retro theme, it looks like original 60s FF. And then I see the photo. And we have confirmed Pedro Pascal as our Reed Richards, Eben Moss-Backrack as the Thing, or cousin from the Bear, Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, and Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. And in the photo, Herbie the Robot's there. I'm stoked on this. I'm stoked on everyone who's listed. I'm here for it.
I am excited to see how they introduce this family into a universe that we've 15 years in, and it's like, where the fuck have they been? What's going on? But to be honest, I've never been the biggest Fantastic Four paper comic book fan. In the movies, Roger Corman's funny. I like that one because it's funny, but
I made an attempt.
I've just never been a huge fan of the movies either. So it's I don't have high expectations.
It hasn't been very good in live action, so that's fair if you were never a fan. But as someone who loves the Fantastic Four, this looks perfect. And what I thought was people have noticed on the picture is that the Thing is reading Life magazine, or was it Time magazine, with
I don't remember.
It's the 1963 print date, so it does look like they are going for that era.
Yeah. Well, even the layout of the card and all, it looked like Norman Rockwell kind of. And,
Yes, absolutely. But oh my God, I'm so excited for this.
What I do like about it is previously when Fox owned it, Fox did their typical, we have to make a movie to keep the rights, so we're going to rush this thing out. With Marvel, they announced that it was coming out, had the 4 and all that, and just kind of let it simmer, coming up with the story, getting the cast together. I appreciate that. So and they obviously, Kevin Feige has a track record of doing well. So I'm excited on that, but again, I don't have high expectations.
I can't wait, guys. I think this is gonna be so good. What else was I gonna say about this?
Are you about Fantastic Four?
Yeah. Hold on, I had it, and then it's gone in the air.
So this touched on another point. We've had a lot of viewers comment that Brandon is the oldest person in our troupe. He's not. He just has an awful memory, and he looks old.
That part of our Marvel news segment today. Fucking shaming Brandon. Anyways,
I'm sorry. Now I'm going to do an apology video.
No. Stick on Marvel. Stick on Marvel. This is a Marvel segment. What was the thing I was going to say?
So Brandon's mutant power is to look old.
Move on. What else do we got? I'll remember it.
He's only 18,
we'll come back to it.
Really.
Get fucked. Okay, what else Marvel news?
So the other part it's not really news, but I like it because I love Ben Mendelsohn, who was obviously Krennic in Rogue One, and he was in Secret Wars. I don't even remember the name of the character. What was the character's name?
No, old man. You figure this out. You're going to hit me with
whatever. But now he's saying he really, really, really wants to play Doom.
He said he'd give his eyes and his teeth to play Dr. Doom. And you know what? I think that's what he's going to need to do to commit to the role, so people don't think he's the same guy who played, a Skrull.
Weren't you the dude in Captain Marvel? No. That's okay.
That's different. We just look the same.
And I hate to say it, I'm down. I love this dude.
Oh, he's an outstanding actor.
Just awesome. It makes no sense. But then again, one of the other rumors was Matt Mikkelsen. It was like, well, you were already in Doctor Strange, so that's even weirder.
I think they're getting to the point. They're like, whatever, man. We'll just
nobody will notice.
It's fine. But I think he'd be great. With this, we haven't gotten any other announcements for anybody in this movie, whether villain, hero, what.
That's a good point.
So who knows who's going to be announced for this, what they're going to go with. I cannot wait for this film.
Well, I had
so
a friend
excited.
like 2 or 3 years ago point out, it's like, well, what if sort of a Captain America thing where the Fantastic Four take on whatever baddie they're taking on, but it has some kind of time displacement thing, and they're gone for
Well,
most of
okay,
the
that's
time.
what I was gonna say. You just made me remember. In
You're
Doctor
welcome,
Strange,
audience.
in
You're
Doctor
welcome.
Strange, when John Krasinski says the Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
he's like, "Didn't you chart in the '60s?" And that's the magazine he's reading is 1963. So I don't know if that's something that like they were in the proper MCU. If this is going to be a different, I don't know.
Have we hit this? Was Infinity, or I'm sorry, Endgame touched in the 60s, right? When Captain America and Iron Man went back to the facility.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was it. That was the
that's
only.
really
Okay,
it.
so it'd be interesting to have like a full-fledged movie in the 60s.
I'm here for it. I can't wait.
Yeah. The other one was Henry Cavill has apparently signed for a role in the MCU, but it's not determined what.
And all the internet's like, this proves the Snyderverse is coming to the Marvel universe. They're gonna have him as Superman.
Breaking
It's
news!
not dead.
Zack Snyder's directing the next Marvel movie.
Zack Snyder's directing Superman fights
Avengers West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the Avengers Great Lakes.
The Great Lake Avengers with Superman. It's I don't know.
Anywho, not obviously, but most of the
rumor mill
and news reports that are putting this out have him as Captain Britain.
That would be great.
I agree.
That would be really cool, especially gearing up with the Deadpool trailer and the obvious like eventual inclusion of the X-Men. That could be a very cool spot for him.
And it's weird
and
to
he's
say.
A great actor.
I feel like he's so underrated. Like
yeah.
his name's everywhere, but like people don't just like, oh, I'm going to this Henry Cavill flick. And it's like, the dude is so wicked talented.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's always entertaining. And I think that we've talked about it before. The hardest part about the Snyderverse is wonderful casting with awful stories. It's not any of their faults. I think everyone performed, Ezra Miller aside, outstanding in everything they're supposed to do. Kind of with the early X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Wonderful casting, just plagued by awful stories.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'd love to see a proper Henry Cavill superhero movie because it always felt like Superman was just on the edge of being what it was supposed to be. He was supposed to, or getting the limelight he was supposed to get to, and it just never happened.
And what's nice is he's a true nerd.
He is. He's doing the Warhammer show. Like he's
a Highlander.
Yeah.
Like, who signs up for Highlander when you're at that level in your career?
Him and like Joe Manganiello. I love that they're just like, yeah, we want to be all of the things we read and are fans of.
See, that's my fantasy. Like, they're like calling each other up, like, "Hey, you want to play D&D this weekend?" Like, "Yeah, bro, let's go. Yeah, we'll hit the gym afterwards." All right, cool, man. It's like that's awesome.
Yeah,
you can't beat that.
And like I said, it's almost like with the Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool thing. Yeah. When you get an actor who not only wants to be a part of it, but wants that character specifically, it always ends up better.
And that's one of the things I love. As I know, people are like, "Oh my God, we're getting superhero fatigue." It's like, fuck you. We have waited a long time for this era, and to have actors like John Barenthal go into a comic book store, comic book dude be like, "I know who you are. I know who you're playing. Here's what you need to read." And he's like, "Cool, let's do this."
That's exactly how it should be.
Awesome. And I know one of the writers for the Netflix series Daredevil literally went in and she bought every single Elektra Daredevil book she could find, read them all, and translated that into season 2 and Defenders. But season 2 and season 3, it's like,
yeah, but that's what we need. You have that passion, that's what they're looking for.
We don't need, like we've talked about the X-Men, it's like, what story did you guys pull from? Because this makes no sense.
Or it's like, I think that was a thing with early comic book movies was like they took certain elements of stories, whether it just be the villains or the idea from a storyline, and they're like, well, let's just like.
Superman's a great example. Like, I love Christopher Reeve. I love the original Superman, but it's like, he just sent the planet back in time.
He just flew.
And then the second one, he threw his emblem off his shirt and like.
Well, I mean, that's the problem with Superman is it was like we basically have God and we need to make it look like he's God, but the effects weren't there. So he's like, throw a what would they even be called? Like a chess piece. But no, but like what was the material? It was like see-through. It was it looked like plastic wrap. No, it was a plastic wrap ass. I remember like even as a kid, I was just like,
say what? Huh. Well, even
Batman.
Batman.
Does he have heat vision?
Even Batman, the first incarnation of Batman live action we get is like goofy 60s And it's like fun, but it's like, that's not what Batman was.
Well, that was actually making fun of the original one that came out, which was like the very, very, very first. What they were making fun of that.
That's what I mean, though. It's not like
it was. Well, you
it's an interpretation.
I didn't know what you meant
Batman.
when you looked at the camera.
It's
Usually
an interpretation of Batman that's not what the comics were.
Yes, you're right.
So I really like that now we're going to source material, which with DC we've got since 1938, 39, and Marvel 60s. It's like, yeah, we got a lot of material. Let's
do you think Sony just needs to find someone who loves Spider-Man side characters? Like that's all they need to find. Is just
they have it. They have it in Across the Spider-Verse, but apparently they're not allowed to touch anything but that because we get Madam Web, Morbius, Kraven, Venom.
We're getting a third Venom.
God. Well, they just announced, what was the new thing they announced too? I can't remember. Not Silk.
No, are they doing a Silk movie?
No. They're doing a TV show, a series, and I'm like,
is it the one with Nick Cage they're talking about?
No. I'm actually excited about that one.
Well, yeah, I'm down with
Spider-Man Noir, but no, it was more of like the Madam Web, something along that storyline. And I'm not going to go see the movie, so don't even be like, oh, why didn't you know? It's like I don't care. Something along those lines they're doing. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, Sony?
Every day I wake up hoping Sony just goes, we're sorry. Here you go. We'll give it
Pull
back.
a 20th Century Fox and give up, please.
Any more Marvel news? Is that it?
There's only one Marvel movie coming out this year.
Okay. There you have it.